We're out exec at 8:08 p.m. Okay, do we hear these one at a time?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
as I've stated, of reading this packet, the times, the names, the reasons, how it originated for us to get to where we're at. Because this came in on one complaint, I would like to make a motion to deem both of these complaints as frivolous.
There's a motion by Eric. Is there a second?
I'll second
it. Okay.
Discussion, Chairman.
Okay. Go ahead.
Wanted to thank Esther for coming forward and stepping up. You know, that's what we need for all of our employees to do. And I would encourage all of our council to work closely with our CEO and our CEO to work closely in turn. I think this whole thing could have been avoided with some conversation and communication and working together. Real close working relationship we have with our CEO. And this is really unfortunate that we're here. And moving forward, I would just hope that things like this could be avoided, that we can have clear communication and work together and make sure that these things don't come up like this, that our council could reach out to the board and with their concerns, you know, that would be appropriate and become informed. But because there was no formal action and because Councilwoman Whitewater and Councilman Warner did not talk to me directly, communicate to me directly, you know, I don't feel deceived on what was done. You know, I don't feel like they would try to deceive me on anything. So for that reason, I believe it would be frivolous. That's the way I'm going to vote. But I think it's a good opportunity to look and how we can move forward and really work together and communicate. You know, that we can look at this and say, you know, that this happened and we can use it to move forward and get better. Thank you.
John. Thank you, John. Is there any other comments?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, Brian.
First of all, the issues that were brought forward in executive session are factual in basis, so therefore, by their very definition, they cannot be frivolous. To deem them frivolous is basically to say that they didn't occur. And I don't agree with that assessment. I don't agree with that definition. At minimum, because there are questions that need to be answered, because there are issues that need to be resolved, the investigative committee should be at least convened to try to clear those allegations or find whether or not they went further. Because the deception factor isn't necessarily the only thing that determines whether or not something should be frivolous or not. There are also other issues with this as well that were alleged, and others within the policy. Now I'm looking at that as we speak, and what it brings forward is the fact that there are other questions that need to be answered. So therefore, it cannot be frivolous. It cannot move forward without an investigation being done.
Okay, thanks, Brian. The motion is on the floor. Do you got the wording for that motion? Can you repeat it?
I would like to make a motion to deem these complaints as frivolous.
Okay. The motion by Eric, your second by Carl.
Yeah.
Is there any objections to the motion? Okay, I stand up for objections. We'll call for the vote. All All in favor of the motion, raise your right hand. Five yes. No. 3. 0 abstentions. Okay. With that, motion failed. 5-3-0.
Chairman, the motion passed.
Yeah, motion passed. Motion passed.
How
5-3.
can they vote on their own complaint? I mean, I understand what John was saying about Tori voting on Mel's complaint and Mel voting on Tori's complaint, but how can Roland and Thelma vote on their own complaint?
Chairman,
Because it was all lumped together as one.
John, go ahead.
just to clarify, the motions were made for each other, but when it came to voting, the voting went 4-3. And the voting was Tori, Mel, and Louie. And Tori voted on her motion, or voted when it involved her, and Mel voted when it involved him. I just wanted to point that out, that's what happened before. Recently. Thank you.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Well, I just want to make a comment to our CEO. I want to offer her encouragement. I'm sorry we didn't have the votes here today, because I believe there should be an investigation on what you laid out. But I just want to encourage you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Eric, second by Roland. Is there any objections? No objections, comments? Louis, you object?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call for the vote. All in favor to adjourn, raise your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 3. Brian, Louis, and Lorelei, no. 0 abstention. Motion passed 5-3-0. We are adjourned at 8:16 p.m.